Hi, everybody. Natalie here from EBNet, and this is my weekly scoop. So, obviously, this week, the thing that we need to be talking about is the IRFA conference. And we spent an enormous amount of time at the IRFA conference speaking to many of you in the community and have loved every minute of it. Not only the conversations at the conference, but some of the conversations that we've had with you after the conference as well. But for those of you who weren't lucky enough to be there, I can share with you that a lot of the conversation was around impact investing, ESG investing, and how we as asset owners and really directors of capital, where we can make the biggest difference. And that conversation took place under a number of headings, through a number of excellent speakers, and certainly the IRFA conference was something to really enjoy this year. If you weren't able to make it, we did spend some time in the EBNet podcast booth, and by some time I mean a lot of time, bringing the speakers to you and the exhibitors as well. So you're welcome to pop onto the EBNet website. You will see a tab at the top right that says industry. If you click on there, you'll see a page called the 2025 IRFA conference, and you will find links to all our videos and interviews and chats with the speakers, as I've said, and some of the exhibitors. It's really some great content on there. You can link in and experience some of the topics. Off the top of my head, I'm thinking particularly of Old Mutual's conversation around what we can learn from the lessons that have already been through in the Australian environment. I'm not sure that sentence made sense, but you'll know what I'm talking about. And the conversation with Michelle Acton was certainly a very illuminating one. If we look at where Australia was 30 years ago versus where they are now, and how they've built the system and this resource pool through legislation, despite still having high levels of financial, I'm going to say financial illiteracy. And so really Australia is a great example. I also enjoyed Zarina Kamruddin's, well, in fact, both of her sessions. And the one I'm thinking of particularly right now is the one where she sat as part of a panel with the UNPRI and discussed the various solutions that are available to South African retirement funds, as well as to the South African legislators. In terms of building this pool of assets, really to direct those assets into infrastructure and deliberate impact investing that will make a difference. Zarina pointed to a very successful case study in Rwanda called Ijohiza, and you will find that article also under the IRFA collateral. So under that page or on that page, you'll find some interviews with people, together with the relevant articles that were posted, some of my commentary on the 2 days, summarizing my favorite parts and my highlights, and some of the supporting articles or quoted or referenced cases that were mentioned. Other great interviews with a lot of the asset managers, a lot of the portfolio managers. You can hear directly from the horse's mouth what's happening out there. Some of the great topics that we chatted to them about around, is ESG or was ESG just a fad, or is it here to stay, and what kind of products and development we can look forward to in the coming weeks and months. So IRFA, great conference, some great interaction and connection with the community. Thank you very much for coming to chat to all of us on the EBNet team. We love talking to you and we love hearing your ideas and your suggestions, and even some of your criticisms. That just keeps us sharp and pointy to make sure that we bring you the content that you want to see. So thank you very much to IRFA as well, and congratulations to the new board who was elected. You can go find that in my one newsletter during the week, and congrats to that team. I know that later today, they will be electing the new president and vice president, and they will be communicating that early next week. So thank you again to IRFA for inviting us and for allowing us to do what we do at your conference. And we certainly had a great time, and hope that you did too.
EBNet is proud to bring you top quality content from experts across the financial services industry in South Africa and internationally, for free. Your support helps us in doing this. All we ask is that you subscribe to our channels by clicking the subscribe button below. Share this video with others you think will benefit from it, and give us thumbs up if you are enjoying the content. That way, you help us help you. Thank you from the team at EBNet. For more great content, please visit www.ebnet.co.za.
Other news this week, I want to point specifically to two articles that were written by Leon Hreiling around the duties and responsibilities of management committees. And I meant to do it in last week's scoop and I forgot because there was so much news last week. But I meant to do it last week and really to point you to the EBNet Umbrella Hub page where you'll find both articles talking to the responsibilities and duties of management committees. And there is also an article posted this week under the Good Reads page on EBNet from Weber Wenzel around COFI and what COFI is going to mean. Now, the FSCA did say at the conference earlier this week that COFI is impending. I read that as incoming and really coming, really or not. Here comes COFI, and if you overlay COFI with the duties and responsibilities of management committees, I think those are going to start taking on a deeper dimension. And Leon, in his article, refers to those, and more interestingly and more valuably, if that's a word, he talks to the questions that management committees can and should be asking of their service providers and of the sponsors of their commercial umbrella funds. So two great articles. As I say, you can find those on the Umbrella Hub page on the website. We also enjoy interacting with you through our webinars, and certainly the Women's Month webinar is one that I am looking forward to later today, and I'm sure I'll summarize some of the highlights of that in my news scoop next week. So we do interact with you guys on a couple of bases or platforms, and our in the moment kind of live webinars are one of those that we enjoy. Other topics that are getting a lot of airtime this week is AI. And again, thank you to 2 or 3 great presenters at the IRFA conference, really showing what AI can do and how close we are. In fact, one of the delegates asked, how close are we to having an AI trustee? Now, this is an interesting question. I'm not sure the question was directly answered at the meeting, but certainly the answer that was given and the presentations that were given talked about the usage of this technology for trustees to be able to make decisions, really do some of the more repetitive administrative tasks that almost felt too difficult. And by that, I mean, I'm thinking of a typical trustee who would get a set of financial statements. How does that trustee compare this year's financial statements to last year's financial statements? Now, I'm aware of trustees, and myself in a previous position as a principal officer, I'm aware of trustees and myself who kept Excel spreadsheets and kind of loaded that information in the Excel spreadsheet, and then next year simply loaded the new year's information and could then do a comparison relatively quickly. Now, I say relatively quickly. The AI that is out there right now through various portals and board technology that is out there, as I said, is out there where you can dump in your set of financial statements and the AI will do the comparison for you, or will compare asset allocations for you. And that immediately puts you in the driver's seat as a trustee or as a management committee member to ask the right questions of your service providers. So AI is a thing. There are some great articles posted on the website for you during the week. You can go and read up about that. And the reason I'm talking about AI is obviously to lead seamlessly into a conversation around our Evolutionaries conference. Now, this is something that we're looking forward to. It is a totally virtual conference. That doesn't mean it's an online conference. It means it's virtual. So if you didn't attend last year's, you're in for a treat this year. You can go into the conference at any time, day or night, for the week that the conference is open, and you can go and interact with some of the material or all of the material that is there. And the topic for this year is very much around AI. And as I've started receiving the speaker videos for loading into the conference platform, there are some great topics and some great presentations in there. So we're really looking forward to that. And we'll be opening the registration link for that conference next week. So please go and register. We will also be publishing the Evolutionary Awards, the entrants there, and again, some great entrants. Particularly, I'm thinking around AI in investing. I mean, the theme for the conference is AI. So there's AI in investing, AI in advice, AI in portfolio construction, how to protect yourself from AI. All these types of presentations you'll find, and all of the products from our entrants and successful entrants who made it into round 2 are profiled in the evolutionary rooms, where you can go and watch those and vote for your favorite. And we know that winners are chosen by way of a people's choice, so you can go in there, interact with the content in your own time, and vote for your favorite evolutionary. I think I've hit everything in my notes. Oh, the one thing I did want to mention was this concept of collaboration. And one of the key messages that came out of the IRFA conference for me was around collaboration and the requirement, need, imperative of this industry to sit around a table, not be so protective over what we know, but rather share the lessons, and together collaborate and come up with a solution or solutions that are better than or greater than the sum of their parts. And so collaboration for me, as you know, it's one of my favorite words, and really hit home at this week's conference, and how much we can learn from each other and how much we should be open to learning from each other. So in that spirit, we know that EBNet provides a platform for this collaboration. Please keep your comments, your suggestions, your articles, your content, your willingness to talk to me or one of the team by way of our various interviews, and really be open to sharing yourself, your experiences, your learnings, your content, and let's really take this collaboration to the next level. Until next week, I will see you then.